he's, putting the auto pen on display in the
that is so creepy. And I mean, I'm sorry, I've kind of gone beyond trying to be impartial here, Jonathan, because his behavior is so beyond the pale. This auto pen, so he posts or he places presidential portraits along the hallway leading to the Oval Office, and the one he puts up of Joe Biden is an auto pen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so sophomoric, but it's also just so creepy, right? What is that?
All the punditry always drives me crazy anyway, but Charlotte Clymer, our friend, said, highlight of last night, I'm not seeing much today, Spanberger, Sherrill, and Mondami all won clear majorities of young male voters last night. Wasn't this a few months ago we were told that we've lost young men forever and the bros fear, blah, 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 something, something?
I mean, everything that we were told coming out of 2024 was flipped on its head in the elections this week, and not just with young male voters. I mean, you think about what they were saying about Hispanic voters leaving the Democratic Party, for example. In Manassas City, which is not that far from me, maybe it was Manassas Park, there was a 22-point swing from 2024 to today for Spanberger this week, indicating that Hispanics, who may have voted the wrong way a year ago, saw the error of their ways.
Well, Carl, I was just going to ask you, speaking of which, I mean, I'm seeing some Republicans saying, like, this fight they picked starting in Texas with the gerrymandering may backfire on them bigly because the Latino vote is swung so historically back to us. So not only did they pick this fight that, California finished on Tuesday, I mean, and they keep trying to repeat this. By the way, do we have this? Oh, hang on. I'm sorry to inflict a double Mike Johnson on you. But, Mike Johnson, real quick.
I'll make a comment about the tragedy in California last night. What California did is very, very different, as you all know.
Yes.
By comparison to what a state like Texas did. Texas was following the federal and state constitution, following their state law and redistricting.
No.
California was not. They had to trample over their own state law, over their own independent redistricting commission that they had all put into place. It was a desperation, a sign of desperation on the Democrat Party.
I mean,
let's be clear about the independent redistricting commission.
Chris says this all the time, but someone else posted, Trump told Texas politicians what to do what he wanted. Newsom asked California citizens to vote on what they wanted. Right. That's the difference. Yeah. No matter how they try to spin it, right?
Yeah, I mean, voters in California instituted the nonpartisan redistricting commission, and they made this exception. They did both. Neither of those things are the case in Texas. So, I think what's really going to be interesting is that the trade-off that had been made in these state legislatures was this notion that, look, we're just going to shave off a little bit. You'll still be Trump plus 8. You'll still be Trump plus 7 or 5. It's going to be fine. Well, what we saw this week was that Trump plus 5, Trump plus 7, 8, 9 is not necessarily enough to hold on to your seat.
Yeah.
So they've made this trade, promising people that they will be fine when they cannot keep that promise anymore. And these congressional districts that they thought would be more competitive or more Republican aligned may not be as Republican aligned as they think.
Yeah. Speaking of California, in happy homo news, did you see this one? Huntington Beach, California, a MAGA stronghold, banned the pride flag in 2024 because Prop 50 passed. Huntington Beach now gets a gay congressman.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic?
Robert Garcia.
I love that for them.
Yep.
I mean, there's just so many layers of lovely, isn't there?
Well, I mean, if you watch those council meetings from Huntington Beach, sometimes you think that you're watching like an episode of Parks and Rec.
Yes, absolutely.
It's true.
Well, didn't they have Tito Ortiz, the MMA fighter, on their city council for a time?
I think so.
Yeah, and he quit because the job was too hard.
Okay, in other homo news, Sharon says, when we had Pete Buttigieg as transportation secretary, we got refunds for canceled flights and planes didn't just fall out of the sky. Now our airports are scrambling to stay open. If you know what, that and the Virginia school board vote is any indication, America is saying more homos, please. Mooksforcarl.com.
That's right. Well, and, as I keep telling people, we showed the MAGA extremists what's what this week, but they're still coming after me in a recall. So if you want to support me through this recall, you can go to mooksforcarl.com and help us out. But I think what's really interesting is you mentioned school board. The Moms for Liberty folks lost in every race they competed in this election.
Yeah.
So you're talking about school board races all over the country where the right people won. In fact, in suburban Philadelphia, Democrats cleaned up in school board race after school board race.
Yeah. Chris and Bella will, we have so many technical difficulties here. They'll love this post. But Michael said, damn, someone unplugged America and plugged it back in.
A hard reset, if you will.
That's right.
It's just, have you tried that?
Unfortunately, we still got this virus in Washington.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, because we've been talking about, my nephew just got in. He was delayed last night at some airport. So Trump administration will reduce traffic at 40 airports across the U.S. starting Friday, right, because of the shutdown. That's tomorrow.
Is anything coming up that people like to travel for?
I know, they literally, it's like flying the poop plane over us for Thanksgiving, right? But prices way
they
up.
literally could not write a better way of annoying the most number of people.
Yes, they're going to reduce flight capacity by 10% at 40 major airports across the country. That could cut thousands of flights a day. I mean, it's everywhere: Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, New York, L.A. All the hubs, right?
Here's the idiocy of this. Like, if you're looking at polling, and Trump even admitted when he was talking about the election that Republicans are blamed for shutting down the government. If the voters are blaming Republicans, rightly so, for shutting down the government, why would you continue to do things that make the voters more likely to resent the fact that you've shut down the government?
And why doesn't one person ask Trump? I thought you said the Democrats are to blame entirely for the shutdown. How come you're saying the shutdown was bad for Republicans on Tuesday? I mean, it just... no one ever asks him a follow-up question.
How dare you offer a follow-up question?
Yes, thank you. But I also think, Americans are, who is this? Ron Filipowski says, today Mike Johnson will keep the House adjourned for the 94th day out of the last 106, 12 days of work and 106 days with full pay and benefits. The Senate's been working, so this is not about a shutdown. It's about avoiding a vote to release the Epstein files. And Julie made a great point. 94 days of paid vacation, and they scream about work requirements for SNAP and Medicaid recipients, and they're doing all to cover for child sex traffickers. I mean,
I'm going to be honest,
how about you do a work requirement first? How about you show up to effing work before you?
Well,
right?
they're never going to live up to the standards that they expect out of other people. But in all honesty, even before the shutdown, they weren't doing much work.
I mean, I think we mentioned already, Carl, the U.S. economy posts its worst year for layoffs since 2009, with layoffs surging 183% in October compared to September of this year.
Well, I mean, and here's how you know that Trump is driving a lot of what's happening at the polls. That is experienced, the economy struggling is experienced no place greater than in Virginia, where DOGE and all of the other cuts that have impacted federal workers, people who work on cures for diseases, people who work in national security to keep us safe, or in the Justice Department to prosecute criminals, being forced out of their jobs because of a political vendetta or just bad planning, has wrecked Northern Virginia's economy to some extent. And certainly enough that it drove huge turnout up here. We had across university campuses, you had more than 100% of what turned out in 2024.
Yeah, and all the fired federal workers there, Carl, know that he didn't have to fire them. He just did it to be a D.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have to cut SNAP.
Let alone the ones that are furloughed and understand exactly what's going on, too. This is one of the most highly educated populaces in the nation. They know what's going on, and they know who's responsible.
Who else would elect Carl Frisch to buy 11 billion points to the school board?
That's right.
The highly educated. Okay.
We love the highly educated.
We love the highly educated here at the Stephanie Miller Show. Save one last one for you. Axel says, MAGA's acting like Mondami is about to destroy healthcare, let Americans starve, and build an Air Force base in Idaho for Qatar. I mean, for everyone calling him a terrorist, he literally is giving to terrorists that fund Hamas. I mean, it's just, and that's how many news cycles ago, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could be handing over entire states at some point. Look. End of the day, what happened in this election was you had a bunch of Democrats talking about the issues that really motivate them to serve, which is helping people deal with the struggles of day-to-day life, helping people with the issues that they talk around the kitchen table about: income, the cost of food, the cost of transportation, heating their homes, and everything else. And the people who heard them talking about that voted for Democrats.
You know the difference
These are
now?
issues Trump promised to make progress on, and he's abandoned them.
Yeah. The difference now, Carl, we can't even afford a kitchen table because the lumber's been tariffed, cabinets, right?
Only
no one
three
can
legs
afford a
on
kitchen
it.
table.
Yeah.
That'd be a funny ad. They're just everybody sitting around with
The
their,
plates to
with
put
their,
on?
with their food on their lap.
Yeah.
I wish we could afford a kitchen table. Remember when we had a kitchen table to talk about issues over? Okay. I'm just spitballing here. I'm no Mike Nellis or Carl Frisch.
Well, I
as
mean,
Democratic
you should
strategist.
trademark it and give it to him. He'll make a good ad out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be funny. They're in the middle of a discussion. Someone they just come and they repossess the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Come on, no, mommy's. Come on, I'm writing a little comedy here.
So they move to the island, and then that disappears, and
Yeah.
All right, Carl, you remain for so many years a delight.
Yes.
I must say, it must be hard.
Hey, it's John Fugelsang, and somehow my book, Separation of Church and Hate, has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 6 blasphemous weeks. It's for believers and atheists about how to use the Bible when dealing with the right-wing Christian fundamentalists who are trying to wreck Christianity and our democracy. And I'd love for you to join us for our new pay-per-view event recorded live at Union Stage in Washington, D.C. We're doing a book tour with stand-up in a rock club featuring a Q&A with our very special guest, Glenn Kirschner of Justice Matters. Everyone at the live show gets a hardcover copy of the book. There's a VIP meet and greet as well. Tickets at unionstagepresents.com. If you can't make it to D.C., the show will also be streaming and on demand November 15th at meethook.live/John F. That's meethook.live/John F. It's a holiday special for anyone who's ever watched these Christian nationalists on Fox News and thought, Jesus Christ, these people are the opposite of Jesus Christ. Streaming and on demand November 15th at meethook.live/John F.